Hello again. So welcome to episode 14 of Mathghamhain Morsels, Simple Comforts. Today's episode is going to be on a bit of an odd beef stroganoff, a ground beef stroganoff. And I say it's odd because of one of the ingredients. In order to make this a bit simpler and a bit more straightforward for you guys have seen me break down onions and mushrooms plenty of times already. So, I did prep work ahead of time. So this is just a small Vidalia onion or Mayan onion, sweet onion of whatever type you can find works beautifully. Then I have about a pint of sliced mushrooms. These are sliced somewhere in between about a third of an inch to, well, probably about quarter of an inch to a third of an inch. Maybe some of them as much of as a half of an inch. You don't need to be extremely precise with these, and you'll see that as we're cooking up as we go. Of course, I have the ground beef for the ground beef stroganoff. This is, again, an 80-20 because fat equals flavor, and I really want a flavorful stroganoff. Then I have sour cream. The one I'm using today is a Daisy sour cream, and we're going to be using this entire 8-ounce container. And then the weird ingredient, as far as most people are concerned, is rather than using a cream of mushroom or any other sort of cream of soup, it's going to be cream of chicken. That seems weird because beef and cream of chicken, but trust me, it's absolutely delicious. And you guys should try it this way. See what you think. And then some sliced up and beautiful green parsley. This is, of course, a flat leaf parsley rather than a curly parsley. And then about a little bit more than a teaspoon, because I like garlic, of, again, about 50-50 black garlic to white garlic. This is the one change from when I was little, because I didn't use black garlic, or my mother didn't use black garlic, but I absolutely love the flavor, so I'm adding some black garlic to it. And then, if you want to do this exactly the same way I am, well then you should also be making yourself a drink. My drink while I'm making this tonight is a whiskey and ginger ale with some lemon. So in this pint glass I have about 12 ounces of ginger ale, about an ounce of lemon juice, if that, and then I have a fair number of fingers of whiskey. I think I probably put in 3 shots of whiskey into this. So, this is an imperial pint glass, and it is pretty high up there. So, good amount of whiskey. It's absolutely delicious, though. So, I will catch you guys in the kitchen, where we'll start making this. Okay, so here we are in the kitchen. I have this deep saucepan over a medium-high burner. So to this, I'm going to throw in my ground beef. Make sure I get all of that in there. After all, it is the protein star of the show tonight. Then I have the onion, just like last night. This is going straight in. And again, you want to get all of the onion out that you can. And then the third thing that's going straight in is the mushrooms. This is going to overcrowd the pan if we were trying to get a nice sear on the beef, but this is again, you just want the beef to be cooked all the way through, not so much to be seared, and we aren't looking for any coloration on the mushroom or onion. So break up the beef. Get it mixed around with the mushroom and onion. And just let this cook away on your stove top. This again, really make sure that all the flavors blend together. So even if you don't have a piece of beef as you're biting into it, well, the mushroom now tastes beef, and the onion tastes beef. And if you don't have some onion in your bite, well, the beef tastes of onion, and the mushroom tastes of onion. So it marries those flavors together. And you just want to really break up that beef. This is going to take a bit of time. And I'm probably going to be turning my burner up and down as necessary. Because again, this burner, or rather, these pans don't maintain heat quite as well as my cast iron does. So just to make sure that it's not getting too cold or too hot in any one location, I'm going to be turning up and down the heat. I did forget one ingredient when we were at the table. And it's because it's an ingredient that I don't use very often. And that is, it's going to have a small amount of black pepper thrown in as well. Because that was the way that my mother made it. So I'm going to throw in the small amount of black pepper, even though, like I said, I can't stand the taste of black pepper normally. But I like this dish, so it must have masked the flavor enough that I couldn't really tell that it was in here. So just keep on making sure that you mix this around, break up the beef so it's not large clumps. One of the things that makes this dish so simple is the fact that 90% of the dish is cooked in the same pan, though there is one portion that isn't cooked in this pan, and that is the egg noodles for this dish. So let me get a pot of water on the back burner and get that going so that I can toss my egg noodles in when I'm ready. This is, again, as with everything in the Simple Comforts series, one of the dishes that I grew up on. This was a standard midweek meal for my family. And I used to always clean my plate first. I'll have one other weird little twist at the very end of this dish, beyond just the oddity of beef stroganoff using cream of chicken. But that you'll have to wait and see what exactly that little trick is, unless you were watching Minions at the Zoo earlier. In which case, I already told you guys how I finish off this dish. Let me get my ginger ale and whiskey. Whiskey, ginger ale, and any citrus go amazing together. So, if you ever end up at the Jameson Distillery in Dublin, St. James' Gate, if you're on any of the tours, there's what's called the Daily Grog. You get a free ticket for whiskey with any of the tours. And one of the options, at least when I went, was a Jameson ginger ale and lime. It's absolutely fantastic, which made me start to experiment a little bit. It works with lemon, ginger ale, whiskey. One of my favorites is just whiskey spiked lemonade. That is delicious if I'm going for anything that's even remotely mixed. Something like that's really good. Because you still get the nice clean flavor of the whiskey, and it just plays wonderfully with any sort of citrus, acid, bomb. The ginger ale goes beautifully. And that was something that I didn't necessarily think about until I went to the brewery. And I saw that that was one of the options. Which is, again, a case of try new things. Try different drinks. Try different combinations of things that you like. If you like stroganoff, you like ground beef stroganoff, try this one. It's weird. It has cream of chicken. No one else uses cream of chicken, apparently. Oops. It is absolutely delicious, though. So, just like last night, we're going to drain off the beef and we're going to turn the heat lower. And again, just like I mentioned last night, don't drain directly down your sink. It will do horrendous things to your plumbing. Get a waste can. Fill it up. When it gets full, you can throw it in the garbage can. Some areas even have pickups for used cooking fat because they're able to make biodiesel out of it. But those programs are somewhat rare, so you probably won't be able to find them in your area. But if you do that. You aren't going to use the leftover fat, but they will. And it will keep you from pouring it down your drain, which will keep you from being responsible for the massive amount of damage done to city plumbing every year by careless cooks dumping grease down the drain. So, now that is freshly drained, all you end up doing is you add 2 pads of butter, or in my case I'm using a rather large block of butter, so it's going to be 1 large pad of butter in order to equal 2 pads. Toss that in. Give that a moment to start to melt. I'll be stirring it in a moment here. Then you add the garlics. Put those in, start to stir this in. And then my most heated ingredient. Just a little bit of freshly cracked black pepper. Get that mixed around so that it's incorporated all the way throughout. This smells amazing currently, so I'm going to give that a moment just to make sure that it's nice and warm throughout. And then, just like yesterday, where we used flour to thicken a bit, I'm going to sprinkle about a tablespoon of flour. Plus or minus, I'm eyeballing it. You can measure it out. So again, just like yesterday when we added flour, you want to mix it throughout. You want to make sure it's everything in the pan is coated with the flour. And you want to give it some time to cook out that raw flour taste. Because there are a few ways that are easier to ruin this than leaving in that uncooked flour taste by just not giving it enough time. We add a bit of salt to my pasta water while I'm waiting. Give this a toss around a little bit. You really want to be careful with the flour. Make sure it's all cooked off. And then, it should be good right now. Now that smells good. Now, you add in some weird ingredient for most other people. The cream of chicken. I'm just using Campbell's cream of chicken. Because again, part of the simple comforts is use cheese. And this was the type of soup that was always used when this was made at home. So get as much of that out as you can. Mix that in. And I did turn down the heat fairly substantially, so it's currently on a medium-low rather than that medium-high that I started it off on. And then the sour cream also gets added to this. Just dump the entire 8-ounce container in. You can then scrape it out if it's not going to come out easy. And again, mix that all in. This is stunning. Okay. That's all mixed in. And this is looking beautifully thick and delicious. So at this point, we're going to turn this up just a little bit. And I'm going to let this sit for a moment, just to let some of the flavors meet together a little bit more, and give it a stir every so often. Also just waiting for the pot of water to come up to boil. So I can throw in the egg noodles that this is going to be served on top of. just a good German egg noodle that I was able to find. Which, once that water comes up to heat, I'm going to toss this in. And then, once this is done, I add in half of the parsley to the Stroganoff sauce. The Stroganoff wrap. Get that mixed throughout, and when you mix in the parsley, you're going to turn down the temperature so that you don't end up allowing parsley to discolor and wilt too much. You want it to be towards the very end that gets mixed throughout. And my pot of water looks about good. Just about getting to that boil that I want. And I'm going to, of course, be cooking this to a nice al dente, because nothing ruins a dish with noodles faster than letting the noodles get completely soggy and soft. So I want it to be a nice al dente, little bit of bite to them. Beautifully done. Stir. Man, this smell takes me back. There we go. The pot of water's up to the boil like I wanted it to be. Dump in my egg noodles. And those just take a little bit of time to cook. I don't want them moving together, so I'm getting in there with a nice slotted spoon. Wait, well, this one's actually a pasta spoon, which has drainage holes. Nice little bits to help grab onto the pasta. Give that a stir. It'll come back up to a bubble, and that'll be done in a bit less than 8 minutes, probably. So I'll join you guys back when my pasta's done. I'll stir in the parsley and then plate it up and show you guys how the finished product ends up looking. So I'll see you guys in a moment. Okay, so the egg noodles are done. So like I said, if you want to add in the parsley, and this is off the heat, so I turned off burning the heat. Add in your parsley, not all of it, about half of your parsley. And you want to mix that in. If you don't have fresh parsley to hand, you can use dried parsley. It doesn't quite turn out as good, but it is a viable option. As I've said many times, taste everything, because this is delicious. And also lets you know if you want to add more black pepper, or if you need more garlic, more parsley, anything like that. Though, don't add too much parsley at this point, because let me show you guys how I plate this all. Okay, so plating this all up. You get a nice big mound of egg noodles. And then this just goes right on top. Just a little bit more should do me with a knife. So, ladle that on top. Then you hit it with a bit more of that flat leaf parsley. And then the final ingredient, which I think you just can't do without, but this, like the last time I recommended this in a dish, try it without, try it with it, see which way you prefer and let me know. This gets topped with a nice, generous mound of bacon bits. And there's the stroganoff that I grew up with, served up exactly how I used to eat it. And I'll still eat it to this day. Let me get a drink real quick. So get some of the stroganoff, some of the bacon, some of the egg noodles. This is absolutely delicious. And like I said, most of you, if you've had stroganoff, you probably use a different cream of if you use a canned good at any point. So you haven't had it with cream of chicken like this one. Let me add some more bacon. Bacon makes so many things even better because it adds just that little bit more salt. And that delicious, delicious bacon fat. Even if you've had stroganoff, you probably haven't had it with cream of chicken. As one of the ingredients for it. Give it a try. It's absolutely delicious. You might not have ever topped it with bacon. Give that a try. Again, I definitely recommend it that way. And perhaps you just haven't had stroganoff before. This one's an easy to make version of it. But while it's easy to make, it's not missing any flavor. So again, give this one a go. See what you think. And if you try this and you like it, let me know. If you prefer a different way, let me know that way. I'm interested in trying other things myself. So that this video doesn't just dissolve into me pigging out on a mound of beef stroganoff. let me leave off with my usual. Try new things. Try new flavor combinations. Try new dishes. Try different versions of things that you've had before. See if you prefer them. See if you like them. Have fun with eating. Have fun with your food. Explore the world with your taste buds. And with that, have a good one all.